Welcome to Snetterton. It's round 3 of the 2013 championships. The HMT Racing Thundersport 500s are on circuit, ready for their race here on the Thundersport iPlayer. And it is this man here, Adam Shelton, that just about has the championship lead. There's not a lot in it. This Stinger Shelton on the yellow and sky blue machine. His championship rival this year with new levers and new colours, the HBH Motorcycles rider Neil Bainbridge, number 100, racking up some decent points. Rob Morby looking to get himself third overall in the championship at the moment, leader of the Seniors Cup Championship, number 53. And then his rival, you suspect for the season, will be local rider Richard Blunt, number 13, fourth place on the grid. Keep an eye out also for Matt Shillings on the second row, number 24. Ben Bailey on the second row. Number of different riders to keep your eyes pinned out for. Carl Smalley's had a decent start to the season. Richard Johnson, number 156. But away we go from the line and down into turn 1. It looks like a really good start for Neil Bainbridge. It is. And Bainbridge gets the whole shot ahead of Adam Shelton, who just got swallowed up a little bit into turn 1. Can he recover as they head down into Montreal, formerly known as Sears, but this corner has been completely changed. Come back on yourself. Oh, we've got a rider down there at Montreal. Number 29 is down and out. That's Gareth Thomas, the rider from Bicester. He's actually managed to get back on. Did he hold on to it? If he did, then he's allowed to remount and continue the race. If he didn't, he will be disqualified. So we'll have to wait and see, but he's up, he's okay, he's remounted. Back at the front it is the two riders that we said would fight for this title all season long. Bainbridge and Shelton ahead of Morby and Blunt. Further back though, a number of riders fighting for points. We saw Brookbanks going through there. Number 57 is Mr. Ponsier, Chris Ponsier from Attleborough. Attleborough just down the road here from Snetterton, so very much a local circuit for the Ponsier brothers that are racing here today. But it's Bainbridge that leads this one from Adam the Stinger Shelton, a rider that won back at Donington Park and picked up the lap record. Both of these riders have been under lap records so far. There's a number 29 on pit wall. You know, I think he is going to get disqualified. Despite the fact that he might have managed to hold on to it, he is going to be out of this race. The rules do state, Thundersport GB, that if you do fall, you're not allowed to remount. But it's a shame for him. He'll be a bit frustrated with that Montreal crash. Back to the front, though, we go. The new black, blue and yellow leathers of Neil Bainbridge leading the joinery depot machine of Adam Shelton. And look at the advantage they've got over the rest of the field already. You know, in previous seasons, this has been really close. There's been 3 or 4, maybe 5 bikes fighting for the championship right until the final round of the season. This year, it really is looking like 2 riders that are head and shoulders above the rest of the opposition. Morby is in 3rd place. Ben Bailey is up into 4th with the orange jacket. And in 5th place, it is just Richard Blunt, number 13, and 24, Matt Shillings. Shelton it is that takes the lead then. Onto the start-finish straight we go. Bainbridge tucking up on the slipstream. Look at the speed difference there on the exit. Good drive there from Neil Bainbridge as he gets out in front again across the start-finish line, and it's Bainbridge that leads as they tip into Ritchie's, and here comes the Stinger Shelton, number 61, in 2nd place. Really pushing the front Bridgestone tyres here on these Thundersport 500s. Identical machinery pretty much for all of these riders. A few tweaks here and there, but in terms of brake horsepower, you're talking about 1 or 2 difference, so not a great deal of difference, although Bainbridge really is picking the bike up and slinging it into the turns, and he looked to struggle to downshift there, did Bainbridge, and Shelton nearly took advantage of it and is hovering all over the back of him like the angry Stinger Shelton wasp that he is. Into the bum hole, and now coming up to Coram Curve, and you've just got the impression here that Shelton is ready to pounce, and here he goes up the inside. You cannot leave the door open to someone like Adam Shelton. Give him an inch, he'll take a mile, and he takes the lead as they head down into Murray. So it's Shelton that leads onto the start-finish straight. Matt Bainbridge there, just taking his left arm off the handlebars to help with the slipstream down the start-finish straight. Jeez, look at the power that he's got. He's managed to retake the lead. I didn't see that one coming as they go into turn one, and Shelton, whoa, what a move by Adam Shelton, making Bainbridge sit up. We've seen that a few times so far this weekend, but that's a good move there from Adam Shelton, who moves up into first place and maybe this time looking to break away. But Bainbridge back on the start-finish straight. You can see as they head down the Bentley Straight and into Brundle. There's certainly nothing wrong with the speed of that bike of Bainbridge's, but the power into the corner there from Adam Shelton, really getting his elbows out. The pair of these are both well under lap record pace. A 24.7 for Bainbridge that time, a 24.4 for Adam Shelton. The lap record before this weekend was a 25.1. So the pair of them are really going at it here. Good racing in the Thundersport 500s. At the moment, further back, it's Morby, Blunt, Bailey, Shillings, Johnson, Smalley and Alkins with Alex Tennant in 10th. But it's this race that we want to keep our eyes on. And as Adam Shelton crosses the line to tick off another lap, this time, at least, it looks like he's going to get into turn one with the race lead. You can just see in the background there the black and orange flag. That is for number 29, Gareth Thomas. He's failed to pick up the signals from pit wall and has now been told to pull over at the nearest and safest place. Meanwhile, this is the battle for third. Number 53, Rob Morby, still having a decent scrap with number 13, Richard Blunt. Matt Shillings is also in the mix there, as is Ben Bailey and Richard Johnson. There is Shillings, number 24, probably the youngest rider in the field at 17, a former Super Teen rider, mechanic by trade. Back to the front though, it is 61, Adam Shelton, that leads the rider from Hull, heading off to his beloved Cadwell Park next month. And, well, that's where we first saw glimpses of how quick he was. There's still the battle going on for third, fourth, fifth and sixth between Morby, Blunt, number 99, Ben Bailey, and Matt Shillings, number 24. Bailey, of course, the rookie of the group with the orange vest. Number 169 there, Richard Bloxham, is about to get lapped, though. Wow, look at the pace that 61 there, Adam Shelton's got, and he's broken away from Neil Bainbridge. It's been a tough race for him, but he has managed to get out and get a decent lead. This fight for third and fourth still going on, and Blunt's coming around the outside at Ritchie's. There's not a lot of room around there, and he uses all of the tarmac, and they're side by side now as they head down into Montreal. Good race that for third. There's only a few points separating them for third and fourth, and we've got another faller down into turn one, and hopefully the rider doesn't get collected. Big crash there for Alan Brookbanks. That could have been nasty. Nice to see that the riders were aware around him, because he was right in the middle of the circuit. He's up, he's okay, he walks away. It's a quick part of the circuit to come off out at Ritchie's. You're braking from full speed, just down a couple of gears, and he loses the front end. Meanwhile, at the front of the race, it is Adam Shelton. What a race this has been. Another lap record for the Stinger as he crosses the line to complete another lap. There's number 20 and number 17 and number 5, Dave Bezic, David Moss, Matt Ratcliffe. They're all fighting for 18th, 19th and 20th, but they're about to have the race leader fly past them and stick a lap on them. Number 79, just going through your shot there, is David Northover. And this is the fight for third between Morby and Blunt. Then it's number 99. That's Ben Bailey, Matt Shillings, and then 156, Richard Johnson. Some solid points coming up for those guys. Shillings might just, move up into the top 5 of the championship with a decent result here. Good effort from him, the 17-year-old, but Adam Shelton, there's no doubting his talent. Neil Bainbridge has put up a good fight at the start of this race, but Adam Shelton, lap after lap, under the lap record pace, has just been too hot to handle here at Snetterton. Coming to the closing stages then of this HMT Racing Thundersport 500 race. And as they head onto the start-finish straight, Shelton there, chin flat on the tank. Last lap flag for him. One more lap of the 1.99 mile circuit here at Snetterton in Norfolk. Around Ritchie's, the double apex right-hander. Almost flat out round there, and then down hard on the brakes, second gear corner, maybe even first on some bikes, into Montreal. Come back on yourself, flick left onto the Bentley straight now, one of the longest straights on the British calendars. Pinning it all the way. This is still the fight continuing for third place at the moment. Rob Morby's got his hands on a trophy, and Richard Blunt's going to have to settle for fourth. Further behind those two, it is Ben Bailey that's got the advantage over Matt Schillings. But Stinger then, Shelton into the bum hole. He's just got two more corners to deal with. The long right-hander here, Coram curve, which just seems to go on forever and ever and ever. And then flicking it hard left into Murray's before heading home on the centre straight. There's Neil Bainbridge, another 20 points for him. He's nothing if not consistent. He keeps on racking up the points. He's staying within touching distance of Adam Shelton. But it's Shelton's day here at Snetterton. He wins. He takes the lap record. He takes 25 points ahead of Neil Bainbridge in the fight for supremacy in HMT Racing Thundersport 500s. Classic racing for him. He'll have a championship lead as we head into his home race at Cadwell Park. And across the line for third, it is just Rob Morby from Richard Blunt, but we are talking about 7/100ths of a second separating them. Good effort from both them. And of course, Rob Morby takes the Seniors Cup win along with third place trophy overall. Blunt fourth then. Ben Bailey a good solid fifth place, and Matt Schillings in sixth overall. Good for the championship. On the podium there then, Shelton in the middle, Neil Bainbridge on the left and Rob Morby on the right. And in the Seniors Cup, it's Rob Morby from Mark Hulsall and Mick Riddle.
Rob Morby, winner of the Thundersport 500 Seniors, and indeed third place overall. You must have enjoyed that. I mean, it's good going.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, the racing yesterday for me wasn't as exciting, even though I had two safe thirds. I was miles behind the winners, but today I've had to fight every lap. I've been down to sixth, back to fifth, back to sixth, and finally, for once, I've finished in third on the last lap instead of the first lap. So yeah, fantastic, really enjoyed it. Richard Blunt rode brilliantly, really enjoyed it. Very safe passing, fantastic, the best you can get really.
Well, it certainly gets all the juices flowing. Have you got anybody you'd like to thank, Rob?
Yeah, there's loads of people I'd like to thank. I'd like to thank my girlfriend Jane. She's not here this weekend. She's looking after the granddaughter. But Chris Johnson, who helps me build the bikes. John Baker of J&RB Racing, who's come to support me today. And just again, the Thundersport Club for putting on such fantastic meetings. If it wasn't for Thundersport, I don't think I'd still be racing.
It's fantastic to hear. And you've just confirmed why you're in the seniors. You've just told us you've got a granddaughter. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, thanks a lot. See you next time.
Adam Shelton, winner of the Thundersport 500s. Fantastic race. And you've really got one hand on the Thundersport 500, or on the lap record, the Bike Insurer lap record bonus of £500. We'll see at the end of the day. But you must love all this.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed it stays for the majority of the day, because could really do with it, to be honest. Yeah, just massive thanks again to Joining Depot, ashcourt.com, 5 Ways, AGV, and Verker for a great new website, adamshell.co.uk. Please check that out, and everybody else who's put in. And I've had to put a lot into consistency this weekend, because you'll see on the race I'm struggling with power a bit, but we'll get there. So thanks.
Excellent. You've done a great job. Well done, Adam.
All right, thanks a lot. Cheers.
It's Snetterton in Norfolk for the A&R Racing Street Fighters, round 3 of 2013. We've had quite a high rate of attrition in this class so far here at Snetterton, but the reigning and defending champion, number 9, Rhys Rothwell, sits on pole ahead of his new championship rival for 2013, Scott Adam. Scott with that delightful helmet colour scheme, the bright pink and yellow, helps us commentators out a lot. There's Martin Stanier in third. Martin, a regular in the Thundersport paddock in the Street Fighter class for a number of years now. And then on the outside, a rookie for the season, Gordon Wright from Falkirk, travels on his own. Long way to come this. Snetterton in Norfolk, and never been here before. maybe not his favourite circuit so far. Other riders to keep an eye out for, of course, Street Fighter B's Sheriff, Strafford, Mick Riddle. Got to look out for Street Fighter C's as well. Championship leader Keith Warren up against the likes of Andy Driver and Duncan McMillan and Andy Scanlon, etc. But away we go then. Lights off here for the A&R Racing Street Fighters. And as we head down into Montreal, it's Scott Adam with the advantage ahead of Stanier, Rothwell, Gordon Wright, Sheriff, Strafford, Mick Riddle, all going through. There is number 45, Andy Castle. Andy out there on the Honda 600, another of our riders from the RAF Motorsports Association, and that's Rhys Rothwell. That's Rhys Rothwell's bike. Oh my word, what has happened? And there's another rider involved. That's Mick Riddle. So Mick Riddle and Andy Driver. There's 3 bikes that have got involved in a pile-up on the first lap. Rhys Rothwell, well, that will dent his championship chances. The defending champion has blown it on lap 1. That is so unlike Rhys. So it's a shame we didn't get to see that, but Rhys, Mick and Andy have all gone down. Hopefully all the riders are okay, but look at what that's done at the front of this race. It means Scott Adams got a nice lead now ahead of Stanier. Adam Sheriff is 3rd overall, bearing in mind he's on a Honda CBR 600. So, well, Sheriff looking good for a 3rd place finish overall. There is Scott Adam, Stanier 2nd, Sheriff in 3rd. Further back in 4th place, you can see the KTM Super Duke there of number 11, Gordon Wright, ahead of Strafford. Number 48 is Richard Harrison. 72 with the orange and white bike is Dave Palfreman. And there's Phil Page, number 94. Phil Page, in fact, has been racing since the very start of Thundersport GB and was actually fighting for top 3 in the championship in the opening season, 2008 in Street Fighter B, I believe it was, with the likes of John Hardwick and the eventual champion Sam Reed. There is Scott Adam going through. Good lead now over Stanier. Adam Sheriff in 3rd. Leader of Street Fighter B's, known as the Deputy Adam Sheriff, of course, going for number 911, courtesy of his name. Rider from Barnsley. First full season that we've seen Adam at Thundersport GB, and he's been competitive in both this championship and the Golden Era Superbikes that he competes in. He's sponsored by the Motorbike Shop UK Honda. And it is at the moment the practical van rental Suzuki of Scott Adam that screams down into Montreal. There is number 11, the Wright Racing 11.com KTM 990 Super Duke of Gordon Wright. Stanier in 2nd place on the 1.21 Racing Suzuki. There is Gordon. Very, very happy with his performances at Brands and Donington Park, the opening 2 events of the season, where he was actually able to compete for race wins, but it's not quite been the case here at Snetterton so far. We've been robbed really of a good race due to that first lap incident involving defending champion Rhys Rothwell, Mick Riddle, a Street Fighter B rider, and Andy Driver. I mean, all 3 of those riders are actually heavily involved in their own championships across Street Fighter A, B and C, so not good for them. There's Dave Palfreman, number 72. Dave from Hereford, riding for the British Army race team. Nice to see him out there. His brother Adam, taking a bit of a sabbatical at the moment. But Dave is competing also in a separate championship that runs alongside Thundersport GB, of course, the Isle of Man Race Products Combined Military Services Championship, where riders from the Army, the Navy and the RAF all compete against one another. Coming into Snetterton, it was Tim Daisley of the Army that had the advantage over Frank Gallagher and Steve McMillan in the Navy. That is a championship, let me tell you, that they take rather seriously. They don't like being beaten by one another, so we'll keep our eyes on that as the season goes on. There's Ryan Strafford just going through. Ryan, number 57, rider that is looking to finish in the top 3 overall of the Street Fighter B Championship, but it's Scott Adam that leads overall. 25 points here will do him no harm whatsoever. He would definitely leave Snetterton with a comfortable advantage ahead of Rhys Rothwell as we go to Cadwell Park. There is Sheriff leading Street Fighter B. Sheriff entering this event with a 41-point advantage over Ryan Strafford and a 54-point lead over Dave Palfreman. So with Mick Riddle not finishing this race due to that crash on lap 1, Sheriff is going to extend his championship lead. Further behind Dave Palfreman, that there is 24, Andy Scanlon. Andy, in fact, at the moment, just ahead of Duncan McMillan there, is leading Street Fighter C's. Keith Warren in 3rd place. Andy Driver, as I mentioned, out of the race. So Andy Scanlon's in line to take some decent Street Fighter C points here, 25 of them. There is Martin Stanier just going through. Stanier could move up into the top 3 or 4 of the Street Fighter Extreme Championship points overall. There is Sheriff. Easy as that at the moment. Gordon Wright is catching him lap by lap. Gordon Wright in the background on the KTM 990 Super Duke, the more powerful of the two machines. Sheriff's lapping at about a 120.2. Gordon Wright is into the 19s, so we should see at some point Sheriff having a battle with Gordon Wright for track position. But Scott Adam at the front, 15.9 last time out for Scott Adam. Bearing in mind the lap record before the start of this weekend was a 117.1, I think we can safely assume that either Scott or Reese will have their hands on a lap record by the end of this one. Onto the start-finish straight we come. And Scott Adam sees the last lap flag, so just one more lap to go for him. He's coming up to put a lap on. Number 24, Andy Scanlon. So Scott Adam at the moment is looking to, if he can lap Scanlon and Dave Palfreman, he'll have lapped everybody up to 8th. Unbelievable stuff from Adam there. There's Martin Stanier having a really lonely race. He's about 20 seconds down on Scott Adam. But crucially, he's about 24 seconds ahead of Adam Sheriff and Gordon Wright. So not exactly a classic, I think is fair to say. The riders in question will tell you that they're very happy to take the trophies and take the points, but this won't be going in my top 10 all-time greatest races to commentate on, I've got to tell you. But nevertheless, Scott Adam is the winner. He takes Street Fighter A glory here, 25 points and the winner's trophy for Scott. He will be championship leader heading into Cadwell Park at the 26th and 27th of May. You can look back all you like. They're nowhere to be seen, Scott. A great win there with his championship rival biting the dust, unfortunately. Reese Rothwell will have to regroup for Cadwell. 2nd place does go to Martin Stanier, 20 points for him. And Gordon Wright will take 3rd in the Street Fighter A's, with Adam Sheriff, number 911, taking Street Fighter B win ahead of Ryan Strafford and Richard Harrison. In the Street Fighter C's, it was Scanlon, McMillan and Tomlinson, but there's confirmation, as you can see. Bit of a drawn-out race, that one. Scott Adam taking the win here ahead of Stanier and Gordon Wright. Street Fighter A podium there, Adam in the middle, Stanier on the left and Gordon Wright on the right. Street Fighter B's Sheriff in the middle with Strafford to the left and Richard Harrison on the right. And in Street Fighter C's, it's Andy Scanlon from Duncan McMillan and Keith Warren.
Andy, Street Fighter C winner. That must have been really good.
Yeah, that was really hard work. I've been tussling with dunks all weekend, and he really pushed me there. I managed to just squeak ahead early, and I just thought, I just can't let up and give him a chance of getting back on it. And that was good fun, hard work with good fun. I really enjoyed it.
Well, the first thing he said to me, he dumped me. Who'd you like to thank?
I'd like to thank Mel Scanlon Gas Services. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here this weekend. Peter Alton at OTC Dynos for setting up a cracking little bike, and Pipeworks for sorting us out with an exhaust. And any other sponsors which want to come and help us, we're more than welcome.
Well done, mate. Top job. Thank you. Adam Sheriff, winner, Street Fighter B. You must be happy with that. Yeah, Ryan asked me to get that particular track because he thought he was going to shoot you this weekend, but obviously not.
Well, it's just look at drawing it. Just got to go for it best you can.
And who would you like to thank, mate?
Richard at Motorbike Shop UK, Guy at L Levers, Simon Lane at Hell Brake Lines, Silklin Oils and Nitro Helmets, and my wife and kids, obviously.
Obviously. Well done, Adam.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Scott Adam, winner of Street Fighter A and the race overall. You must be delighted with that.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Had a win yesterday and a second and a win today, so that's some good solid points scored. And yeah, it was good. I mean, weather stayed dry as a result in the end. Well, not yesterday, but today. So
it's unusual for Thundersport.
It's unusual for the UK. Full stop, isn't it? No snow at the side of the track either.
Who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank Held Bike Fashion, Fleet Transport, Ashfield Trailers. My dad, his best mate Pete's here. He's travelled up from Kent to see me today, so that was a result. My daughter Jade's here, being a pit helper. So yeah, and the missus at home for letting me get out. Everybody really.
Good, Scott. Well done.
Cheers.